Hello and thanks for joining us. In today's program, we will be demonstrating a lab that will help you teach your students that a phenomenon is experienced, investigations are made, and scientific theories are proposed by gathering evidence. The name of this lab is Water Fireworks. The materials you will need for this lab include food coloring, a stirring rod, tall glasses, plastic cups, water, crushed ice, and vegetable oil. The Sunshine State standards in this lab will have your students recognize and explain that a scientific theory is a well-supported and widely accepted explanation of nature and is not simply a claim posed by an individual. Thus, the use of the term theory in science is very different than how it is used in everyday life. The inquiry question for this lab is: 1. Observe the demonstration. 2. Create a theory of how it happened. And 3. Replicate it. The conclusion statement for this lab is: the water fireworks phenomenon is made possible by using cold water in a tall glass. In a plastic cup, mix some oil and food coloring using the stirring rod to break up the globs of food coloring. When the contents in the plastic cup are added to the water in the glass, the mix cools down. This causes the coloring to sink downwards while the oil remains floating on top. As it crosses over the boundary between the oil and the water, it creates a pattern resembling fireworks. From the data and observations, a scientific theory can be proposed for this phenomenon. Now on to the demonstration. Before you begin, you want to add ice into a tall glass of water for your cold water. Step 2 is to add vegetable oil into a small plastic cup. And step 3 is to add food coloring to the vegetable oil. Step 4 is to take your stir and stir in the food coloring. The next step is to add the food coloring into the water. I'm going to stir it up one more time to get the globs of food coloring off the bottom. And now I'm going to add to the water. So possible questions to ask your students include: define what a scientific theory is. How does a scientific theory differ from an opinion? The goal of this video is to help you get your students to reach the aha moment. In this lab, the aha moment is: I realized that cold water is needed for the phenomenon to take place. That's all for today's program. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.